I'm talking about two people. Number one is the person that you love that causes a lot of trouble in your life. And number two, that person you feel obligated to love anyway. And number two is the person who's supposed to be loving you that really doesn't. Okay? I was the type of person that would let people use and misuse and abuse me because they were family or because they were my spouse. I'm telling you today that I have been delivered from that to the point where if you did not come out of my womb, I am not going to struggle with you. This is going to be very hard to do if you need people validation. You understand? If you need people validation, and you need a lot of people to like you, you ain't going to let go. Because you're going to be too worried about what people are going to say and think about you. You care more about what people are going to say and think than actually loving yourself and doing what's right for you. Giving, loving, sharing, honoring somebody you love comes easy. Sometimes it gets tough, but you will love them more than the tough times. You get what I'm saying? The 80% of the time or 90% of the time, it's easy to love them, but everybody struggles. I'm talking about the person in your life who is missing in action all the damn time, but steady. Well, you know I love you. There's no proof. Do you know that there's proof of love? There is proof of love. Where is there proof of love? What is it? Where is it? Is it all talk? Is it lip service? That's why in the Bible, God said, I don't want your lip service. Because all you're doing is talking. There's no proof that you love me. Don't get confused by what people do on the outside to make themselves look like they love you because they know they're supposed to, because they're your mom, they're your dad, they're your sister, they're your brother. So they show up or they take you out. But the rest of the time, you wouldn't even know you're related. If they don't act like they love you, they don't. Love unshown is unknown. Love is undeniable. When you love somebody, you can't help but show it. It's inside of you, so burning so bright, it has to come out. You can't hide it. It's like when you have a crush on somebody, no matter what you do, you can't help but smile and giggle whenever they come around. And I'm telling you that if that person really loved you, they wouldn't be able to help it but to be around you and be there for you and be consistent about you and following up with you and asking about you. Go. The Bible says, if you release the talebearer, the strife will cease from you. Meaning, if you will let go of the troublemaking person, the liar, the confusion maker, the messy person, if you let them go, the strife will go, because the strife is in a person. The strife is not a cloud. The strife is in somebody. And some people carry strife everywhere they go. And you know why? Because they carry rebellion. They're rebellious. And everywhere they go, they bring the wrath of God. And guess what? You're collateral damage. And nothing you do is going to satisfy them. I know that I'm talking to somebody who has a person in their life. It might be your child. You have a person in your life that is sucking you dry. They are using you. And if they weren't related to you, you would kiss their behind goodbye. You would let them leave and never let them come back. But because they're related to you, you're letting them misuse you. And I'm telling you, there's no honor in that. I'm telling you, there's no reward in that. You are choosing to have this person in your life when you don't have to. You really don't. Okay? And you will find that these people are like a fire. The closer you are to them is the more they burn you. But you back away, it's not that bad. And when I tell you that the freedom is immense, the burden is off. You don't have to let those people treat you like that because they're your brother, because they're your father, because they're your mother. So what, your family's gonna be mad? So what? They're brainwashed. Do you understand? They're hypnotized. They're under bondage, and it's gonna take them some time to come out of it if they ever do. They are still in that season of letting that person wreak havoc on their lives. And I'm telling you, you can get your behind up and walk away. And if they get mad, they'll get over it. They'll get over it. And what I'm telling you is not being mean. What I'm telling you is not holding a grudge. It is protection of your gift and your gifting and your purpose. The longer you have these people around, wreaking havoc, stressing you out, distracting you from doing what you're supposed to do, don't you realize these people are on assignment? Okay? So while you think, oh, I have to keep doing this and that. Meanwhile, your health is suffering. You're stressed out. You're missing opportunities, missing blessings, and all this stuff because you won't let them go. It's like supplying drugs to an addict. They always come begging for your money. You give it to them. You're part of the problem. It doesn't ever change them, do it? No matter how much money you give, they always seem to need more, and they never ever get on the right track. Every situation, chaos to chaos, chaos to chaos, chaos to chaos. And you're wondering why. They're blaming everybody for their problems. That's the most consistent thing about this archetype. They're blaming everybody else for their problems. And they keep screwing over every person that helps them. And I also want to say this. As much as you do for them, they're still talking trash to you and about you, aren't they? They're still making fun of you, saying bad things about you, talking behind your back, but still using all your stuff, always begging. It is not your responsibility. I'm about to tell you something that has never left my house because I want you to understand. This is how far I'm willing to go. I want you to understand that it's okay. Because I'm sitting here and it's okay. And I want you to know it's okay. Two of the people that were like this in my life were my mother and my father. Okay? And I'm not the first to say that they had parents like this. Okay? Many people have had parents like this, but they don't like to admit it. And I can admit that my mother and my father did not love me. You see other kids being loved by their parents and you know something is not right. And you're battling inside. They say that they love you, but it doesn't feel like it. Okay? Doesn't feel like they do. They don't. Yeah, it's unnatural. It's unnatural for parents to not love their kids, but it happens. People abandon their kids. People give them away not because they don't have the ability to take care of them. It's just they don't want to. But see, my grandmother overloved me. So she made up for the love they didn't give. You might be wrestling inside of yourself, thinking about a certain relative. Maybe it's not your mom or dad. Maybe it's a sister or brother or somebody else. Maybe it's your spouse. And you're wrestling because the love that they say they have for you does not feel like love. And maybe you think that there's some type of reward at the end, and I'm telling you, there is not. I'm just take this as a warning from the future. There is not. There's not reciprocation. You understand? Sometimes you might think, well, eventually they'll change. Assume they won't, because most people don't. And I have a question for you. If you knew that they were never going to change and they were always going to treat you like this, would you stay? Would you keep holding on? If the answer is no, let them go. Some of you are not strong enough to do this right now because you still need those people's validation, and you need the validation of your family to approve your decision making. So you will suffer because you are worried about what people will say and what people will think. Those people don't have to live with what you live with. If you don't get that person out of your damn life, you will regret it. They've already done enough damage. Okay? It is not your responsibility. When you do release them, you are not going to feel sad. You're going to be overjoyed. You're going to feel powerful. You're going to feel your strength come back. When you love yourself the way that you're supposed to, that means you have to be a friend to yourself. What would you tell your friend if they had a person in their life that was wreaking havoc, never appreciated? What would you tell your friend if they had somebody that was saying, blah, 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 I love you, but doing the opposite? It's time to be a good friend to yourself. Whether you release those people or not, family's still going to talk about you. So what you worried about what they're saying for? They're still going to have something to say about whatever. So what you care for? I want you to seriously question how much you actually love yourself if you are allowing these people to stay in your life and treat you like that. And you might be saying, well, they don't treat me a certain way. They just don't do for me. They don't show up for me. They don't show up for when I need them. And la, 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 la. You know how I woke up and finally accepted that my mom didn't love me? She did a whole bunch of stuff my whole life to show me that she didn't love me. Okay. But one day, and this wasn't that long ago, one day I thought to myself about how easy it is to love my kids. Like how people say parenting is hard, and I understand why they say that. But for me, parenting was the most enriching thing. And I loved every second of it. And whatever sacrifices I had to make didn't feel like anything because I just was enjoying my kids so much. And when I thought about all the things I did for my kids and all the sacrifices that I made, it hit me that my mother was actually withholding love from me. It wasn't just that she was being neglectful. You understand? It wasn't just that she was just not the best mom. She withheld. She withheld the hug. She withheld the kiss. She withheld the support. People have parents like this. You know that? There's parents who will literally, what do they call that? What stonewall their own child. Like if the child, they feel like they've done something to displease them, they will literally just ignore their own child and refuse love. Okay, so imagine that your whole life knowing your parent. Okay, that's what it was like for me. Whoever is making excuses about not why they don't want to really embrace you, or I want you to stop making excuses for them. You understand? Oh, they don't know how, or they ain't never seen this example. All of this stuff. Stop making excuses. Stop brainwashing and gaslighting yourself when you're seeing all the signs and you're still ignoring them because you just want to believe so bad that they love you. And if it, just to make it easy for you, okay, now if you're in the dating world, man or woman, you're in the dating world. Now, you know how people fake and they act like they love you or like you or whatever, and they don't even really like you that much. Okay? They're playing you. And you've seen other people do it to, you've seen people do it to other people that you know. And you know this person's getting played because the actions don't line up with the words. Use that same mentality when it comes to those people. Stop making excuses for them just because they're your blood. You will not feel worse when you let these people go. I promise you. You're worried about the unknown. You're worried about what people say. You're worried about how you'll feel. And I'm going to tell you how you're going to feel. You're going to feel better. You're going to feel a lot better. When I realized that my father didn't love me, I didn't cry. I feel like that day, I felt so powerful. And I felt so validated because once it finally clicked for me, I thought to myself, I wish I could go back in time and tell myself as a child, don't worry about him. He don't love you. Don't worry about it. You know what I mean? Now, some people might think, oh, was your dad not around? My dad took me out every weekend since I was 6 years old. Didn't matter. He didn't love me. All of that was for show. Did not love me. I'm telling you, he didn't love me. They're showboating because they are worried about what people want to say about them if they're not showing up for their child or their sister or their brother. They don't want people to talk about them, so they're gonna do the bare minimum so nobody can say nothing. My ex-husband, my second ex-husband, he was a bare minimum kind of guy. Didn't like me, I guess. Undeniable that he didn't like me. When he was being the most disloyal to me, that's when he was treating me the best. Taking me out every weekend. Bringing me breakfast in bed. Supporting everything I did. I got the very best treatment the last couple of years of my marriage because he wanted to look like the husband that he was not to other people. You get what I'm saying? It was guilt. So that if I were to say, I'm leaving him, people would look at me like I'm crazy and say, why are you leaving this good man? Y'all was talking about J-Lo, right? Think you gotta keep me, I still don't. You understand your cash, I won't. Even if you were broke, my love don't cost a thing. Just because they're buying you stuff. You're not stupid. So don't act stupid. Just because they're buying you stuff and taking you places and doing the stereotypical things that they should do in front of people to make it seem like they love you, you know deep down how they really feel. Stop gaslighting yourself. Even though he was doing all of that on the outside, the intuition was intuitioning. You get what I'm saying? The intuition was intuitioning. It was like, no, I know you're bringing me breakfast in bed. I know you're taking me out every weekend. I know you're buying me clothes. I know you're buying me jewelry, but your heart is far from me. I don't know you. I don't know the real you. And I couldn't sleep. The day I kicked him out, I slept like a baby for the first time in weeks because I laid my head down that night, not worried about what my husband was doing behind my back. I could sleep easy. It's over. It's off my shoulders. I feel good. And I was sleeping good every night, because I didn't have to worry anymore. And that's what I'm trying to tell you. When you let these people go, the strife will cease, the peace will enter in. And the big secret is people lie a lot. They lie about their intentions. And I want to tell you, if you have something special about you, maybe you're pretty, maybe you're handsome, maybe you're talented, maybe you're wealthy, maybe you're fine, whatever it is that you have, okay? You are a magnet for users. And that's relationships like friendships, spouses, and family. So don't get confused when family and all these people want to be around you. Okay? Don't think their intentions are pure just because they're blood or just because they say so. That's not love. Compliments aren't love. Love is love, and it's undeniable. If there's any doubt in you, if there's doubt, it's not love. If you have to wonder, it's not love. It's okay. It's okay to have the permission to let those people go. And they'll be lying to you about how they feel about you, because if you knew how they really felt, you wouldn't want to be around them. Some people, they think they love you. They don't. They have a perverted and tainted view of love for whatever reason. Maybe it's because they never were loved. But the point is, regardless of their reason of why they act like they act with you or just neglect you, doesn't matter. The reason doesn't matter. Because at the end of the day, you're still being treated how you're being treated. The question is, how long are you going to deal with that? I have a philosophy, and that is, you're either going to deal with it or you're going to get rid of it. Which one? Is it something you want to deal with, or is it something you want to get rid of? Everybody in your life has a role to play. Some people are apples. Some people are oranges. Some people are bananas. They all have different roles. Okay? You can't be mad at the apple for not being the orange. You can't be mad at the banana for not being the avocado. They're not supposed to be the same. But I'm not talking about that. Maybe you have a mom that, she loves you. But whenever you talk about your career, she just doesn't get it. But her not getting that part and you not being able to talk to her about that doesn't mean she doesn't love you. Because if she's showing you that she loves you in every way, except for she doesn't understand your decision making when it comes to that. That's not the same as they ain't even asking. They don't even care. You understand? Like, they don't even care. They don't care how you're doing. And I'm here to tell you that, yes, you will feel lonely. But loneliness is two things. Loneliness is a passing moment, okay? It's just like any other emotion. It's temporary. And the second thing is, loneliness just means there's not enough people that are like you around you. You understand? Because this is the reason why you can be in a family, a big family, and still feel alone. You can be in a marriage and still feel alone. Because people don't get you. When you find your tribe, you won't feel alone. And let me tell you, please do not hold on to these people because you're worried about feeling alone. Let them go and fill your life up with people who get you and who actually care about you.